What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Cousin Cecil Show. I'm your host, Cousin Cecil, aka Mike Fowler. How you doing? It's way late. It's actually technically I'm like 8 minutes before this episode was supposed to be out, but it's all right. It's all good. I'm going to try to do this short and sweet because honestly, I'm here for you just to probably talk about how I thought E3 was going to be like this whole week. No, like we have a whole nother fucking episode of the Cousin Cecil before we can talk about it in sense technically, like especially if we're going to be halfway through E3 for the next episode of Cousin Cecil Show, which is kind of bullshit. But yeah, do a little bit of gaming news. I also got some early reviews from Scout Comics. Get you in, out, short and sweet, and we'll get ready, get pumped up for E3 next week. But yeah, I didn't know the game industry did not believe in the week of like June 8th to the 11th. They're not real days apparently, because they were saying like, oh yeah, E3 is next week, blah blah blah. I guess Jeff Keighley's Game Fest is the middle of the week, so I'm excited. But yeah. Nothing. I've been playing just Fortnite, and I did play Uncharted Lost Legacy. That's my first time playing it, and it's pretty good. I think it's actually my second favorite Uncharted. And like it goes like 2 Lost Legacy, and then we can debate about other shit. But no, I like Lost Legacy. I like there are some things they're kind of getting away with. Like there's not that much true dialogue, stop breaks of like, compared to like Uncharted 1, 2, 3, 4 with like, Nate and Sully, or like another conflict between Nate and his girl. You know what I'm saying? But I actually really enjoy the show or the game, blah blah blah. I'm not finished it yet. I think I'm on the last chapter. But no, it's really good. I really like it. But no, it got me out a little bit of a rut. I feel good about it. It feels pretty good playing. And then also played, of course, Fortnite. And then we're getting into Season 7, which is going to be more aliens. And they're probably going to have some DC, but also... but yeah, they've been having people getting abducted by aliens. There's crop circles in colossal crops. That stuff. And then we're on day 2 of like teasers. And the first one was like fish stick, little toy that kind of could be either back bling, or some people thought it could be like a weapon charm. And then they showed like a carton of milk. And one thing I didn't notice until somebody zoomed it in, it just shows Jonesy is missing. Like, have you seen him like, a milk carton? And I think the first day had like a space age gun. Some people thought maybe it looked like kind of like a anti-gravity idea. But today's was a lot more interesting because the middle thing that was the real shining diamond of this whole thing was a pair of glasses, and it was in the tweet says, these apparently be able to wear and people do not recognize you of who you are. So Superman is probably definitely going to be in this season. He's an alien, kind of fits the whole memo. And also, just more so I can say it before it gets truly announced. But I think Samus from Metroid Prime or Metroid, Super Metroid, whatever you want to call it, is definitely going to be in this season. One, because of her silhouette is in like the Batman 0 Point comics. So definitely shows, for me, I'm like, that's no brainer. Plus, also, she's a bounty hunter. She could have been into the season 5. She could have been around this season with all the... Nope, season 5 was the one with all the gaming collection. Season 6, definitely not. But then now we're in space, and she's in space all the time. You know what I mean? Connects the dots. But yeah, that was my week. I should got into some of the PlayStation Plus games. I want to try the new Operation Tango, but just having time. Me and most likely I'll probably get Chow Fee jumped in, and we'll we'll do a couple rounds, see how it is being the hacker / the agent. But yeah, for everything else, it's been a kind of a okay week. I'm definitely a glass half empty kind of guy. So when I say it's been an okay week, it's probably been a pretty good week. But yeah, really also more fortunate of these comics. I'll tell you what, being able to kind of sneak in and get into these. I'm in like the media podcaster mail chain, and I've been very fortunate. I've been getting some early copies, PDFs, and as you've been hearing on the show, just more expressing how it's really cool. And I'm more happy for this week in particular for the 2 comics that are coming out this week. One, but we'll get into that later. But yeah, let's get into the news that I've been noticing, which that's why I also we'll get the thing that people have been trying to say this week. Okay, we got the E3 schedule, which is all weekend next weekend. So there's none going on during the week. The only thing that I know of, I think Jeff Keighley's on the 10th, which is still on the almost edge of the week. But I think people have been complaining that E3's been hands free for the idea that they're trying to be the ringleader of this whole situation. They said it's up to the companies to announce when their times are, blah blah blah. But let's get more. I don't know the days offhand because obviously I'm also a big fan. I'm not gonna do all that bullshit of trying to tell you all the whole selling points that they were trying to do through tweets. Yeah, see us Square Enix. Hey, come see us on the 12th, and we're gonna be talking about this and that, this and then. So whatever. But the idea of expect probably the big 3 of this E3: Square Enix, Xbox, Bethesda, and what's the other one? Ubisoft are going to be on Saturday or Sunday, and then Nintendo has the 15th. That's all of them. They have the whole day, which is normal. So hey, I'm just more saying I'm glad. People have been also saying there's going to be this weird spot that has Take-Two Interactive with Verizon and some other shit that are not on gaming wise, but they're going to have also these indie developers juggling in between them. I feel for them, but also, you know what? They kind of knew what they're getting into, and also people are going to use it as a bathroom break, but I hope not. If you really want to get into indie games, I'm hoping Jeff Keighley's has a lot of indie games, and then also this week I watched 3 hours of the 5-hour spiel of the Guerrilla Collective 2, which is it had Aerial Night again with the black gamer, indie gamer, expo thing, and they were kind of promoting they made a freshman class, a double XL magazine, but just with the black indie creators that they talked to. So there's a freshman year, or this freshman class of 2021. I'd really like to know if that's a real art book or something to buy, because I think it'd be really cool to get. But yeah, there was a lot of just pumping trailer after trailer, which is that's not we're not having breakdowns and stuff, but just the idea that it's really fun to see these very indie style games still coming. But that's here or there. But yeah, more if anybody was oh, are we going to hear Cousin Cecil talk about the whole fucking schedule again? No, because I like being surprised. I didn't even really look it up. I like watching E3, looking for surprises. I don't need my handheld. I want to be there. I want to enjoy what they bring. And I'm going to rate them how I feel without knowing what's going to be displayed. Because I understand they're going to have updates on games that are already out. But blah, blah, blah. Let's get into also then probably the more logical thing to talk about, of course, is the PlayStation news this week. Santa Monica opened up and said, hey, God of War 2 Ragnarok is delayed till next year. And it's also because they want to have, obviously, of course, the top tier game they want. And then, let's be real, COVID has fucked up the whole gaming industry. So, you know what? It is what it is. Take your time. I want it perfect as much as you can. And I know I'm in a gaming rut, but there are plenty of games this year. And we have Ratchet & Clank coming out this Friday. It's still a good time to be a gamer. And one of the bigger things that the Santa Monica thing did was confirm, which I was already expecting. I think I was already prepared, but I could be wrong. Don't quote me like I'm trying to be like I knew all along and I'm a PlayStation fan. Just the idea that they confirmed that Ragnarok is coming to the PS4. So is Horizon Forbidden West, which we talked about last week. But one that was kind of a surprise is Gran Turismo 7 is going to be a PS4 one as well. For Gran Turismo 7, apparently the discussion of PS4 just kind of happened sooner, like abruptly, like closer to this time of the world compared to like when they first announced it. So again, it kind of makes Jim Ryan look like a liar, saying we believe in generations, but also as my own personal buying a PS5. I wanted one. I didn't have a PS4 Pro. I was ready for an upgrade. So I'm here nor there about that. And also COVID. COVID did mess up the whole game. The whole idea of, the thoughts and this, we could have, the plan was going to be a lot of games, like a exclusive game every month. But, COVID kind of messed that up. So, hey, we're still waiting. It's not like we had it all there. And then another conversation this week was Herman Holst and one of the developers from Guerrilla Studios, which of course Herman is from there, but he's the president of all the game studios right now. They had a whole deep dive interview on the blog, and they also kind of explained, yeah, we're going to have it on PS4, Horizon Forbidden West, but you're not going to get these features that are coming to the PS5. PS5 version of Horizon is going to get 60 frames per second. It also has way better lighting because of the SSD / I don't want to say technology, I don't know, but the processing, the GPU and CPU of the PS5 is obviously way, not 7 years old. Some of the illumination of underwater parts is going to be cutscene quality on the PS5 that they even said the PS4 is not going to have the same upscale or the idea it won't be able to of lighting. So, and the same idea with the Gran Turismo, are they doing it because of this week also trying to show that there was kind of a conference call or some shit between last episode and this episode of the Cousin Cecil show. PlayStation has kind of changed their tone, that they obviously want to be 50% of the gaming consumers, but also they want to have the PS4 to have the longest tail of any system. Tail, I'm assuming, means there's going to be just a bunch of PS4 games still coming out. I think the PS2 had a soccer game that came out 3 or 4 years still into the PS3 era. So take that thought into this discussion. But hey, I don't know what else to say about that. And then, but yeah, one little thing that's leaked I saw is a Marvel game that is apparently from the an XCOM style Marvel game is coming or leaked, which is seems alright. There was another one, but I can't remember offhand. I'm sorry again. We're already 7 minutes into the new day that this is supposed to be out. But the idea of more... So just here, there's a Marvel XCOM style game coming out. And it sounds like it's from the actual creators of XCOM, so that's pretty cool. That kind of goes into the tease that Take-Two was talking about when they were announcing their E3 showcase, so maybe we'll see it then. I wonder if we're going to get more leaks during the week before E3. Only time will tell. And, of course, like I said, it's really late. I just want to have an episode out. And we'll get more into that deep dive of that later, probably next week when we get more E3 news. But yeah. Let me do a little quick check on news, and then we might go right into the comic reviews. Oh, there is one more thing I forgot that I did write down. Obviously, we had in the discussion like Studio Japan is kind of slowly wilting and dying, but kind of coming out of it is the Team Asobi team is brought their own logo and like branding of their own studio now. Team Asobi is the Astro Playroom, Astrobot Games. So I'm, and they also they're treating Astrobot as their mascot of the team and their studio. So hopefully that means we're going to get more Astrobot. So that's always cool. And then let me just double check on something else. Well, yeah, that's pretty much gaming news for me. And also, I just more say Issa Rae, she from, what's the one? Her Insecure from HBO. She is going to be voicing Spider-Woman in the new Into the Spider-Verse 2. That was announced this week. And then, where's the other guy's name? The guy who played Quicksilver in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So the one Petro, who's dead. He apparently he's got a new gig. He's going to be Kraven in a standalone movie for Sony. So, comic book news. I haven't also been going down this rabbit hole of watching these every weekly, like the top 10 spec comics, and hearing news and like these movies are pushing these ideas of people want to buy these certain issues and stuff. So it's been a little wild going down that pipe, but I digress. Okay. Again, we're going to do some early comic book reviews. I'm going to say it again, kind of sponsored by Scout Comics. Go to scoutcomics.com and buy these issues by the time you hear it on at least this Wednesday. And or go to your local comic shop, which will be technically kind of cheaper because then you don't have to pay for shipping. It goes through the store, blah, blah, blah. But I digress. Scoutcomics.com. The first one we'll do on the newer one. This is a issue 1. I am talking about Cherry Blackbird, issue 1, written by. It is written by and drawn by Joseph Schmock, and it's kind of a Scout Comics / Black Caravan issue. And this will also do the kind of like the way they're selling it in this little caption. Rockstar Cherry Blackbird sold her soul for fame. Now at age 26, time is running short. The day she turns 27, she'll be dragged to hell. But Cherry is not one to go quietly. The devil tasked her with collecting 7 demonic souls that have escaped the abyss. If she can do this before her next birthday, she'll be released from her infernal pack and spared eternal damnation. Spared eternal damnation. Heaven help anyone who gets in her way. And that was probably the best way to describe it in a non-spoiler style, because this book is pretty good. I actually liked it. Now, even on the cover, there shows 18 and up, because here's another behind the veil thing. Apparently, when you get these, you kind of get the go-to and okay to show like the first 4 pages when you're like, promoting it or tweeting about it. But I'd be very shocked if anybody promotes the first 4 pages of Cherry Blackbird, because that one, this week also, please take my travel of how I'm going to display it. Scott Snyder, writer of Batman and other great things, but he kind of did a video, and it was like the first video like talking about writing creativity, like a teaching thing, and they talking about cold openings. And he was pointing out like other authors and stuff of doing really good cold openings. Cherry Blackbird has probably by far the biggest cold opening, which means it's like starting off the book off the like already in the action, already kind of deep into the story, and then they kind of go, return back to like earlier, and then they, the story slowly goes in, and it kind of says, you see the craziness at the beginning, where you go for the ride for the rest of the book. This one definitely does. Without spoiling it that well, it involves a demon, a goat demon, pegging, and nudity. So, please, if you're an adult, you kind of know all those words. Hopefully, I hope kids only know 2 of those words. And take that in the sense of, and then it goes into the actual story, and the story after that is pretty good. Obviously, you meet Cherry Blackbird, and it is, with a non-spoiler way, it's pretty good, and it's the idea of, it's kind of like a rock star over-the-top Supernatural, because Supernatural obviously runs off like the classic rock and roll music, but the idea is she's going to become a demon hunter. So this is definitely like the training issue. Not saying it's the final part of the training issue, but the idea of the conflict in the paragraph I said, and then you meet somebody who can be the teacher. But it was pretty good, and I'm going to rate it again in these early comics. I'm going to do this. I rate it in a 5 out of 5. A 5 out of a 5-star scale with half points. And Cherry Blackbird gets a 4 out of 5. It's really good. I actually like it a lot. I almost want to debate on buying. There's a exclusive cover that comes in a poly bag. I think they all go in poly bags, but this one comes in a black one because it's a glow in the dark cover, but it's $25. So it's hard for me to like, should I? Because of all sounds dumb. Shipping. It goes into like you're up to $32 for one book. But it's a really great book. Congratulations to the team, because I know I said it's only Joseph. I hate to say his name on, but Schmeckel is the artist. But of course, I'm assuming there's a letterer. There's of course maybe he did maybe the pencil and ink. But of course, there might be a colorist. But yeah, great job on the team. It looks great. It has a very I like it all. And 4 out of 5, even with the way out there 18 and up scenes, but hey, it's pretty cool and feels definitely sex, drugs, and rock and roll. 4 out of 5. Now here comes something that, for these Cousin Cecil people, this least then goes into my je ne sais quoi of the show. I got to read Black Cotton, issue 3. And of course, maybe we'll do even the proper thing of the spoiler-free way of saying it. The Cotton family war against itself after Zion goes to see Elizabeth in the hospital. Also, a business crisis arises that may present an even bigger and more deadly problem that the officer involved shooting and the public backlash from it. So, all right. This book, issue 3 of Black Cotton, is definitely it's the best of the series yet. So that's a good thing to say. Of course, it's written by Brian Hawkins, Patrick Foreman, and of course, I hate to always do that because also just offhand, again, I hate to do it for even a review, but it's still late. I hate not saying the whole team, but listen, they know the team. Black Cotton team is great. I love still the art style. This one is definitely, it moved the story forward really good, really heavy, because also like how the last episode, last issue we talked about, where it kind of widened the story and kind of widened like where all the family members stand. But this one involves an actual confrontation. This also involves like the talk. It also talks about we get to hear the racial term for white people in this world, and more just so people can hear it, it's binos. Because my dumbass read it and I was saying binos in my head. Like, why am I don't know why I try to say binos, but it's like, it's from, I asked Brian where they get this name from. He said he's very happy he told me because he really loves this question. But they were thinking of just, instead of making like a vulgar word, they try to stick to just the color. So, and he said the team hates that there is still technically this thing could still be said towards albino people in the world, but they try to just stick to that because probably age and all that stuff of like words. So they just went with binos because obviously they're trying to talk about white people in this world and all that stuff. So binos. And then the part that they said, the subplot starts, and it is definitely, in my eyes, shows that this car is going to go 88 miles an hour fucking zooming down the highway, and is actually more exciting. Like you kind of just said it. It got me amped up for the next issue more than Zion's conflict as a police officer shooting a person. That scene when he actually goes to sees Elizabeth in the hospital, I think it was well done. It also, like, hearing how he described it to his parents, and then you see it drawn out, clearly shows he might have saw something different than what happened, or maybe just how beautifully it was drawn. It makes it sound like, did he really think this? And does he really think Elizabeth thought like that too? But no, I don't want to spoil it because, again, I got it early, and I just want to say, Black Cotton issue 3. I know, stick with me about this. Issue 1 was a 7.5. Issue 2 was 6.5. So this one's going to go into the 5-star rating now. And I wish I could say it. I'm doing this because I got it for free. I'm trying to be like an influencer and all that stuff because I think people would believe me better. But no, Black Cotton issue 3 for me is like a 5 out of 5 issue. And that's, that takes some things because I was trying to be modest last week with issues 2s and 3s that I didn't get to read the first issue. So obviously Black Cotton has that helping itself. I will say that. But no, issue 3 of Black Cotton is a 5 out of 5 from the Cousin Cecil show. And again, it's not because I talked to Brian. It's not because, coincidentally here, spoiler, Brian's going to be on a bonus episode that's coming out Wednesday. It's not about him being nice. It's not about that. It's actually a great issue. And like, people who read it, it's just, maybe it's because it's like, how would I word it? It has the conflict / info dump / subplot thing that sounds easy to write on paper, but it just worked for me. It was very great. And I just more give kudos, and not saying like this again, just issue 3 gave me the my tingles and the fucking thoughts. This, the series could go backwards, so I want to at least show like modest. But issue 3 at this moment in time is definitely the best issue of the series, and it gave me a high rating because it got me excited. The idea of it opened my mind about what could be coming out of the Black Cotton universe. So yeah, congratulations to the team. Just more saying that because I think credit. You need to put credit where credit's due, and they're doing a great job. congrats. But yeah, that was the comic review section. And here's a teaser for next week. I have another comic review I'm going to do next week because I was fortunate enough to get the final issue of Resonant early. And I could have did the review today, but also I think I'm going to let it, we're going to get closer to, so we're only 2 days away from the release date. You know, like we know, I think it's fair. But yeah, of course, in the links of the show, you're going to see me put the bio in the bios, comic links to buy Black Cod and also Cherry Blackbird. Thank you, Scout Comics, for obviously keeping me on the mailing list. Really cool. But yeah, I think that's going to be me this week. And for this week's episode, for Hot Picks. Yeah, I'm all tongue-tied. I'm going to say for movies and TV is going to be 2 TV shows, both on Netflix. One of them is Sweet Tooth, the Vertigo comic that's turned to a season. And then another one, Sailor Moon Eternal, because fuck you. And then, for music, I am picking, let me double check the track name so I can say it right. Yeah, this week's music track is Voice of the Heroes by Little Baby and Little Durk. And then for comics, we'll start off with Image, and there's a new comic series coming out this week called 6 Sides of Trevor Keaton. Kind of looks like a weird, like, 70s kind of stuff. Not saying nothing's there, but also, like, Boom has, like, Eve issue 2, because issue 1 was really good. I'm looking forward to that. DC, because, you know, the whole thing's about trying to tell you about issue 1, so you're not, like, out of the loop. So, this week for DC, I picked a DC Pride issue 1. Because it's going to be one of those, like, anthology books, so you have multiple stories. But also I get to interview somebody who worked on it. We're not talking about that book. We'll probably talk about it a little bit, but we're also talking about her main book. That's but yeah. And then for Marvel, honestly, they just have a lot of Heroes Reborn one-off shots. Like there's one called like Gwen Knight and Savage Squadron. And then for a non-Heroes Reborn one I saw was issue 1, Web of Spider-Man. And I think Web is W.E.B. So it's like a code name. But new book. Check it out. Maybe even, I'm not sure exactly the whole spiel for that book. But yeah. And also, why don't we just end it on Scout. Pick up Cherry Blackbird for an issue 1. You know, good time to jump in. And, of course, Black Cod issue 3. But yeah, that'll be doing it for me this week. Again, hey, sorry it's late, technically. Sorry, also, it's short. But, hey, things happen, life happens. Follow me on Twitter at MikeFowler93. I'll see you next week for E3 news, especially at least 2/3 of it. You guys be good to each other, and I'll catch you next week. Peace.